Hey everyone, and welcome to a new episode of Tutorial Park. Now, we have all these guests walking around here in the center of the park, since this is the only place, as of now, where a guest can actually get something to eat or to drink. Now, if you're building a park, obviously you'll want to have more of these places spread out throughout the park, or else your guests will start complaining, and you may even get awards for worst food if you only have one place. Now, in order to keep our guests happy, in this episode I will construct another place where guests can get something to eat or to drink. Now, we have this unused space over here, right under this coaster next to this rail line. I think it will be really fun to have a place in the park where, we'll park some food trucks. You'll see these in more and more real parks as well, since these are very hip. So, I'm just going to prepare the land here so we can build something like that. Alright, I've prepared the landscaping here a little bit. Now, obviously, we're going to need a path that leads down here. I think for the food court itself, I'm just going to use dirt to make it look a little bit more natural, more hip, and gluten-free. Okay, just making a little square here. And I kind of want to have some of these food trucks aligned around here. It's sort of like a half circle. I think that will look fun. Now, we'll also need some benches later for the guests to actually be able to sit, but we'll do that later. Now, first thing I'm going to do is just make a half circle, just using some track. It doesn't really matter what kind of track you use. I'll just go with monorail. Now, one thing you'll need for sure is a station piece, so we can actually spawn the vehicles. And let's just go around like this. Okay, I think that that will work. Probably this should be enough. Now, I'm just going to make an entrance and an exit quickly. They're invisible, they're over here. We don't actually need any guests or mechanics to enter this ride, so this should be okay. Okay, I will place some invisible shops here later. First, I just want to pick out a few vehicles, which will look nice here. Now, I will just use the streamlined monorail trains. And let's see, how many shops should I place? I think I'll place 5 or 6 shops. Let's just go with 6 cars per train. Now, we'll need to use mode that allows for an incomplete circuit. Usually I just use the powered launch. Doesn't really matter if you want to choose a different one. And I'll put the ride in test mode and immediately close the ride. Okay, now I will just take these vehicles and I'll move them throughout the track. And for that I will use the plugin that I use for most tricks that I do. So with this icon you can just select a vehicle and then I'll change this multiplier to 10 so we can move these vehicles a bit faster. And here with track progress, I can move these vehicles around. Now I think I want a stall over here. We can probably have another one over here maybe. Or over here. One over here, one over here. Yeah. We'll just distribute them sort of evenly throughout this area. Alright, there's many vehicles you can actually choose from that might look good. First off, I'm just going to recolor all of these vehicles, because I don't think this black or these dark colors will look good. Now I will recolor them later. First, let's pick some better vehicles for these food trucks. So I'll start with the back one, and I think one that will usually work well is, for example, a stagecoach. I think that could work as a food truck. Now, this is probably not a good color choice for a stagecoach, so let's find something a little bit more warm. And I'll do the same for the other vehicles. Just gonna try and find some vehicles that look nice. Alright, all the vehicles are now in place. Now, there's also a few other vehicles which you could still use, but for those you'll have to use a higher track. For example, you could also put a submarine if you want, or a suspended monorail vehicle. Those also work pretty well. But if I would place them on this track, they would actually be below ground. So yeah, then you would have to place a second track that's a bit higher if you want to use those. Now, these vehicles now aren't functional yet, so in order to actually function as food trucks, yeah, we'll have to place some invisible stalls here. So yeah, I'm just going to place a few stalls, and then later we'll make them invisible. Okay, with all these stalls in place now, we can go in the tile inspector, hold control, select the stall, and then we can simply press the I, and then we can make them invisible. Now I actually have set a hotkey for this, so I can just hold control, select it, and then press my hotkey. For me that's Control Q, but you can set it to whatever you like. And yeah, that way I can make these stalls invisible now. Alright. So now it looks like guests are actually buying food from these trucks that are parked here. Now I'm now going to make this monorail track invisible. Easy way to do it is just to choose the crooked house mode. And with crooked house the ride can never break down. But that wouldn't be an issue anyway since we keep the ride closed. Now for the inspection time I'm going to set it to 0. That way no mechanics will actually start heading for this ride to do any inspections, since they wouldn't be able to reach the entrance and exit anyway. Okay, I'm going to do a quick bit of ground texturing, and I'm also going to make it look like there's actually a road here that would actually give access to this spot for any more trucks that would be brought here. Alright, we'll probably want to give the guests a few spots over here where they can sit and consume their food and drinks. So I will just place down some paths here. Now there's many ways you can do this. What you'll probably want to do is place some fences where you don't want paths to connect to each other. And yeah, you can use that to create some spots for benches. Now as you can see, I put some fences down here. Now I can place paths here without them connecting. I will now remove these fences. And then on these paths I'm going to place some benches. Now these benches from the expansions, I think they usually work well for a setting like this. Looks nice and cozy. Now on these paths here I'm just going to put down some lily pads. As you can see here. Now some of them look a little bit glitchy, but that should soon be over. And now I need to find the cabana objects. Now I don't really remember from which set they are, so I'm just going to press the infinity icon here. Here I'll type cabana, and then if you do that you should see an umbrella pop up here, the cabana top. So just going over here, holding shift, going up by 1. And I will just hover over this one, hold control. And that will give us a nice seating area here. Yeah, I think this looks nice and cozy for the guests, and we should see a lot of them sit down and consume their food whenever they arrive here. Now I'm going to quickly make another seating area over here. Now, on a place where guests consume drinks and food, several things are gonna happen. Well, first, guests are gonna want to pee, so we'll probably have to add a toilet somewhere. Now, I think we can just add a toilet in the back here. Now, since we changed our monorail into a crooked house, we cannot actually build paths here without them reconnecting. without them disconnecting. So I'm just going to quickly change this ride into a different one. Let's just go back to lift. And then I will build a little path here so we can place a toilet. Okay, so now these food trucks have a little toilet here. And another thing that we'll want to add is some litter bins, because this place will become a big mess if we don't. Now, another thing I can recommend is to actually take a handyman and also assign him to this area, just to make sure that this area stays clean. Okay, now to finish off this area, I'm just going to decorate it a bit more. Now, I think it will be fun to have something recognizable in the middle, which would also be visible from a large distance. I went through the scenery and I saw this big didgeridoo. I think it looks silly and funny enough to be used here in the center. I think this actually works really well. Now, that will also allow us to put a few more lights around here. Probably use one over here. Okay, now to finish it off, I'm just going to put some fences around this area and also some wild foliage. Now I want to make it look sort of unkept, the foliage, and for that these Japanese snowball trees are great. I believe they're from the Asian set, from one of the expansions. Yeah, when you bury them, they work really well as dry grass. So I'm gonna put plenty of these around, and I'm just going to mix it with some other kinds of trees. Okay, I think this little food park looks really nice now. I just put some of these trees around. As I already said, lots of these snowball trees around. Also put some dead trees, and I mixed it with some random bushes. Also put these fences from the Jurassic theme around, and these also work great if you bury them next to a path. So you can make these fences at different levels. So I also placed these around here. Now, and here's another little trick. If you place a sign somewhere, so I put this sign here saying food park, and yeah, if you want to make the sign look a little bit nicer, you can put one of these Japanese fences right behind it. Just going to raise it up a bit. And I think that makes them look nicer. You could also use this one or any other fence, or maybe just put it at a lower level. But yeah, there's many things you can do with fences behind signs. Okay, with the food court completed, I'm now going to finish the episode by adding another one of my patrons to the park as an entertainer. Alright, I put an entertainer here who will simply entertain the guests who are walking down here. And the name of this entertainer will be Cheetah. Oh, thanks so much for supporting me on Patreon, Cheetah. It's really appreciated. And I think it would be fitting to give you a tiger costume. Now, and if you're watching this video, you also want to support my channel, you can find a link to my Patreon channel in the video description. And the support is truly appreciated. Alright, that's going to be it for this video. If you have a spot in your park which you don't know what to do with, you could definitely consider placing down some food trucks and some seats for your guests. And that can make for a nice and cozy area. Alright, hope you enjoyed this video. Hope it's useful for you. Yeah, if you enjoyed it or if it's useful for you, please like this video. It would really help out my channel. And I would love to hear what you think of this area in the comments. And if you want to see more videos like these, you can always subscribe to my channel. Okay, that's going to be it for this video. Hope you enjoyed it. I'll see you again in the next one. See you later.